Martin?
Yes?
May I ask where you were last night?
I was sleeping.
And before that?
I said my prayers. Brother Leonardo, why do you ask? Are you accusing me of something?
I am simply investigating, and you've just finished telling me you were sleeping.
I don't have to talk with you at all. I'm sorry.
I find it surprising that you're so uncommunicative today. Is something troubling you? Has it anything to do with my investigations?
What? No. Brother Leonardo, I know that you've been taken off the case, so you can keep those questions of yours. And I have nothing more to add either.
I found this deck of cards in the kitchen.
What? It doesn't belong to me. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm talking about a deck of cards, replete with pagan symbols. Among them, a strange-looking pentagram. It could very well be that you know something more about it than I. But as you tell me it's not yours, I can hand it over to the abbot. I'm sure that with his help, we'll be able to give it back to its owner. Thank you very much for your time, Martin.
No, please don't.
Pardon?
It's mine.
I know.
I'm pleading with you, brother. Don't say anything to the abbot. I swear to you, it's a gift.
Do you know what that pentagram signifies?
I think it's a variation on the talisman of Saturn.
Saturn is one of the names the devil is known under.
That's true.
This talisman of Saturn you speak of, were there perhaps other symbols surrounding it?
Yes, that's right. How do you know that?
Please continue.
It's said that the talisman is identical to Lucifer himself. A sort of invocation for him to send one of his most destructive lackeys to spread chaos on Earth. Berserk.
This so-called Berserk is doing as he pleases here.
That's not quite right. Berserk himself can't do anything in this world if he doesn't inhabit a body to wreak havoc with.
In other words, by taking possession of someone.
Yes. I don't know if it's true or not, but those are things that ought not to be tried out.
Do you believe in all of this, Martin?
As Christians, we must believe in the existence of the devil, Brother Leonardo. The same way the personification of good exists in our Lord, the personification of bad and sin must exist as well. And that is the devil. Good can't do bad. Otherwise it would cease to be good.
Yes. I attended the seminary too. But let me ask you something about all this hocus-pocus. Do you believe that a simple mortal has the ability to make the gates to hell open themselves?
I leave the answers to questions like that to the scholars. I limit myself to keeping my hands well away from the lion's maw.
And yet, someone at this abbey has stuck their whole head inside. You say this deck of cards is a gift?
Yes, that's how it is.
From your mother, I presume?
How did you find out?
These kinds of pagan depictions are forbidden, and the last place that would have occurred to me to find a tarot deck would have been the kitchen at a monastery. Your kitchen. Anyone else would have got rid of it as soon as the Holy Inquisition arrived here, but I found it in a well-protected place where it couldn't be destroyed. You could have hidden it in the oven, but then it would have got smeared with soot, or perhaps in a soup pot.
It's true. Do you understand now why I keep it?
May I ask why your mother owned this deck of cards?
God have mercy on her. She was.
A witch?
She wasn't a witch. She used the deck of cards to tell people their futures. I know that's not a good thing to do, but she gave hope to many people who didn't have much hope anymore.
And was she good at it?
Telling the future? She was often spot on.
What happened to her?
My father accused her of practicing witchcraft. He didn't want his only son to receive any kind of corruptive influence in his religious schooling. And God, I don't know if it was the right thing to do, but after all, she was me mother.
That's a tragedy. I'm very sorry.
They burnt her at the stake together with all her possessions. What you have in your hands is all I was able to salvage. It's the only thing I have left of hers.
I must go now. All right, Martin. That was a rather interesting conversation. Here, I'm returning this to you. If you don't mind, I'd like to borrow this card. The Talisman of Saturn.
As you like, but please, don't say a word to anyone about the deck of cards.
My lips are sealed.
I thank you with all my heart. Thanks, Brother Leonardo.
Bells. I demand an explanation.
I hope that...
Relax, Martin. It's not about you.
Brother, as you are well aware, our abbey has been struck by great misfortune in the course of the last few days. Lucifer intends to take possession of these venerable walls. Yet, instead of taking measures to prevent that, there are some who insist on not seeing the presence of the devil amongst us. They thought that with time he would simply go away forevermore. We are all familiar with the sad consequences of that attitude. Luckily, that's all going to change now. Nazario of Milan, one of the most ferocious soldiers in the struggle against evil, has come to put an end to the deaths.
It's high time somebody does something about it before all of us die.
Is there a monk named Eladio of Thebes in this hall? Eladio of Thebes? He's not here. That confirms my suspicions.
What suspicions? What is he talking about?
Eladio of Thebes is a criminal. He has been on the wanted list for 2 years for stealing from a monastery in Tarragona. A very valuable relic from the 9th century was stolen. He was calling himself Eleutherius of Antioch at the time. He and his accomplice planned the whole thing well.
Accomplice?
Yes. A short, ugly monk. A translator.
Umberto! They came to the Abbey at the same time!
You see? There you have your killer, Father Abbot.
But they came with the best letters of recommendation!
All of them falsified, no doubt. Didn't you check their authenticity?
Being a thief doesn't automatically mean being a killer.
Oh, I don't? Brothers, I have seen Lucifer. He wears many masks, but he is always the same. The lust in taking pleasure in sin eats away bit by bit at the soul of the hapless wretch who lets himself be seduced by Lucifer, until the lust devours him completely. I have come to banish the devil from this abbey, and that is what I am going to do. There is only one way to put a stop to evil. By showing mercy for the soul and purging the body.
Another monk may die while your master amuses himself burning innocent people at the stake.
And you may be the next monk to die.
I've got to get into the hospital to understand what has happened to Eladio. I've got to get into the hospital to understand what has happened to Eladio.